To my fellow introverts, have you ever been in a social situation where you didn't feel very comfortable? People could tell you weren't very comfortable, or you said you didn't feel very comfortable, and you were told, oh, well, maybe you just need to practice, or maybe you need to just do it a little bit more often, then you'll get better at it. That's not very good advice, is it? Doesn't make us feel very good. It's like we're bad at it and we're doing something wrong, and we're not. In this video, I'm going to share a story where that happened to me. I was told I just need to practice, and how I responded and how it made me feel and why it's not very good advice. And then also what we do need to be able to feel comfortable in those kinds of social situations. And I'd love to hear about your own examples as well. So stick around and I'll tell you my story. So in this situation, a friend of mine and I had gone on a cruise together. It was a 1-week cruise. This was a male friend, but we were just friends, so we were just going as friends, both single at the time. And not that we were cruising for love or anything like that, but we were both single and on vacation, feeling happy and fine and everything. And anyway, so he had made a connection with someone at one point on the cruise and learned that they were part of a group of, the way he described it was singles, that it was a group of singles. Later found out it was actually a group of solo travelers. It was an NCL ship, and they had a group of solo cruisers that were doing activities together. But regardless, so he found this single group, and so I agreed that we would essentially crash their party. So they met at a certain bar every evening to kind of get together and have a drink and then go to dinner. And he introduced me to the person he met, who bizarrely just lives up the street from me here at home. That's very rare and quite a coincidence, but regardless. So we kind of mingled a little bit with them, and the setting was, as I said, it was a bar, but it wasn't like a closed-in bar. It was kind of an open bar into a general area. And it was the top half of what they call the atrium. So it was, down on the lower floor, it was an open area with seating, and there was a live band playing. And this particular atrium opens up to a second floor where the bar was, and there's a restaurant, and there's seats around the opening. So the music from below was very, very, very loud. It was very loud music. This was a group of people who already knew each other. And this was a group of people who had been drinking, some of them for quite a while. And here we were, two strangers crashing the party. So we did. And so we kind of, went and did our own things, and he mingled and I tried to mingle as best I could. And I did talk to a few people. It was so hard to talk to people because it was so loud. It was that kind of loud where you had to yell in each other's ears, and it was just terrible, quite frankly. And at least there was one thing that was helpful, and that's that we were all on a cruise, which meant we all liked cruising and traveling, and that at least gives a common interest and something to talk about or to start with at least. But other than that, knew nothing about any of them. So there was some of your standard small talk, which is very, very challenging, as we know, for ourselves. So not much opportunity to get into the individual and a bit more deep conversation and understanding and context. So we tried, I tried, I should say. And so I tried a few times, talked to several people, and as usual, it just didn't take. None of it really took, and I didn't engage with too many people. So I just hung out at the bar side with drunk Renee, and I just chatted with her for a while, and that was fine. So we didn't stay too long, and then we left. And then we had talked about joining them again the next evening. So either later that night or maybe even just on the way home or back to the cabin, I said, I don't think I'll join you tomorrow night. You're welcome to go on your own, but I'm not really very comfortable there. It's not really worth it for me to go back. And he said, well, Is it that you're not comfortable, or maybe you just need some more practice? And of course, I didn't say anything. I just either, chuckled or just didn't say anything. And that was that. I don't even remember if he went the next night. I don't think he did. So, of course, sometime afterwards, I was thinking, that's not right. It wasn't that I need practice. It's not that I need practice. That is another demonstration of an extrovert who has no difficulty in that kind of environment and with that kind of interaction with strangers. It was just an indication of his lack of understanding. This is a friend who I've talked to before about me being an introvert and what that means. So I've kind of felt that he had already had some understanding of what that meant for me, but in this particular situation, he didn't understand. And granted, it was the first time we were together in this kind of situation. So anyway, so I didn't say anything then, and I haven't said anything since. This was at least 12 months ago. It was last year, in winter last year. And it's not worth me saying anything now. If it ever comes up or we're ever in a situation, I would explain it a bit better. The advice of needing to practice for an introvert in that particular situation just kind of implies that we need practice. Well, what we'd be practicing is our continued masking and our performance and trying to be an extrovert when we really aren't. And as you all would know quite well, it's just exhausting, and it makes us feel uncomfortable and sometimes maybe incompetent or unable, and just not necessarily very good about ourselves. Unless we have that self-awareness in the moment or even beforehand. I should have known better, but every once in a while I do try to, branch out because I'm interested in meeting people. I'm generally a social introvert, but the setting was just terrible. It was just terrible. It's just not where our strengths can come to be. So the environment that we do need is almost the opposite of what that evening was. Well, it wasn't even a whole evening. It was maybe an hour. We need something without being overstimulated. In that case, it was an auditory overstimulation. It just is beyond me why people enjoy that, where you have to yell at each other and yell in each other's ears. That makes no sense to me. But anyway, so quiet, more peaceful environments, or at least quieter. Like, I'm fine with some music or background, but it can't overwhelm the dialogue. So that's no good. So that's what we need. We need a quieter, calmer environment. We need an opportunity for meaningful conversation. We need to understand maybe what some common interests are. And we need permission to be ourselves and to be okay with that as an approach. We don't need to practice to live in someone else's comfort zone when we are perfectly fine in an environment that is suited for us. The next time someone tells you that you just need to practice or go out more or come out of your shell more so that you're comfortable in environments that don't suit you as an introvert, then just remember there's nothing wrong with you because that does not feel comfortable. And this isn't about exposure therapy. The more we do it, the more comfortable we are not going to be. That is not what we need. We need an environment that suits us better. And that's where we are comfortable and therefore confident and socialize on our own terms. So thank you for watching. I'd love to hear any examples you have of when you were told maybe you just need to practice, or maybe you just need to do this more or that more, and you'll get better at it. You'll get better at living in an extroverted world. I'd love to hear your examples. My name is Barb. I apply an introvert lens so that we can all make decisions that best suits our energy needs. Thanks for watching.